Hello guys, you're welcome to my channel. So this is my front piece. This is my basic upper bodice. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut this off camera because I don't want the video to be too lengthy. Okay, so I have my um 1 inch for that, and then 1 inch for the side seam allowance. So this is just a basic um upper bodice. Okay, so here is my facing for the front bodice. So I'm going to join this now, join the neckline together off camera, and then flip it over and top stitch the facing. I'll do the same thing for my back piece. So this is my back piece. I have two pieces, as you can see. I have two pieces here, as you can see. Then I also have my facing for each of them. Then I left 1 inch zipper allowance for my facing. Then I have 1 inch for my dart, and then another 1 inch for my side seam. So I'm going to join this neckline now very quickly, but I'm going to leave the 1 inch spacing I have for my zipper allowance. Okay, so I'll just join this and stop just before I get to my 1 inch for my zipper allowance. Then I'll also flip this over and top stitch. So I'm done joining the facing and top stitching. You can see I gave it a notch, then I top stitched, as you can see, and I also ironed it, you can see, so that it can lay flat. So it's best you iron each step of the way. You can see this as well. So I've done the same. Then I left the 1 inch for the zip. So this is where my zipper will be. So I left the 1 inch open. I've done the same thing for the other side of the back as well. So I'm just going to put this back piece aside and let's focus on the front piece. So now this is my front piece. I'm just going to fold it into two like so, and take my dart. My nipple to nipple is 4 inches, so I'm going to mark 4 inches here. I hope you can see this. Just going to mark my 4 inches here. And then I'm going to mark 12 inches here. This is where my dart will stop. So please, you need to take your own measurement so that you will know where your dart will stop. Then from here, I'm going to mark 4 inches like so. I'm just going to do this so I know that my dart will stop here. So what I'm going to do now is I will transfer this dart to the other side. As you can see, my front piece is folded into two. I'm just going to take my pin and punch that part and bring out the pin on the other side like so. So I'll have my darts looking similar and not one bent to the other side. Okay, so I'm going to take my chalk and mark that point. So I know this is where my dart will stop. I hope you can see this. Let me bring it closer. I hope you can see this. You can see this, okay? So I'm going to mark out my 4 inches here as well. But if I don't want to do that, I can just notch this point so I know where. You can see I notched that point, okay? So I'll take out my pin. So what I'm going to do now is to sew in my dart. After sewing my dart, I'm going to take my dart just the same way I did this part. I'm going to do the same thing on the back piece so that both of them will be similar. Do the same thing on the back piece, and then I will join the sides together and show you what I have. So I'm done fixing the darts on the front bodies, on the back bodies. You can see I'm done fixing the darts for the front, the dart for the back, the other back, and then I have joined the sides together. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to take the front piece and sandwich it inside the back. Okay, so this is what we'll do. Let me turn this way. Okay, so this is the back piece. I'll open up the facing, and then the front piece, I close the facing. Okay, so I'll just bring this, the back, I just put this front piece in between the back piece and the back facing, just like so. And then I will sew this down like so. Then I'll do the same thing on the other side. I've joined the shoulders together. You can see what I have. So this is what I expect you to have too. Your shoulder, the joining has to be seamless. You can see how smooth this is. Okay, make sure that they align. Don't allow one part to shoot out more than the other. You can see the other side too. Although practice makes perfect, so you can see what I have. So I've joined the shoulders together. The next thing I'm going to do is to measure my armhole round. I'll measure this round. I have 21. So measure your armhole round. Then you can use your armhole circumference to cut out your sleeves. Okay, so this is my basic sleeve. I've already cut out my basic sleeve off camera. So I'm going to mark out my armhole circumference here and join this to the end. So and I already cut out a flare as well. So after joining this together, I'm going to take this one and then I will attach it together. But first I will have to join my sleeves. As you can see, there's no joining here. So after joining my sleeve, I will show you what I have, then I'll join to the peplum. So I have joined the sleeves together. I have attached the sleeve. I've attached the peplum to the basic sleeve. I've done the same thing on both sleeve. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to join this to my top that I've done. Okay, so now I'm just going to open this side seam of my sleeve, and then I will match it up with the side seam of this top that I've done. Okay, and I'll pin this down together because I want my side seams to align. Okay, so you can go ahead and pin the center point with the center of the sleeve, and then just basically join the sleeves to the top, and then we move on to the down part of our dress. So I'm done sewing the upper part of my outfit. I've attached the sleeve, as you can see. I've attached the sleeve on both sides. I've attached both sleeves. So I'm just going to set this upper bodice aside and work on the down part. So for the down part of my dress, I cut out an A-line skirt. As you can see, I hope you can see this. I cut out an A-line skirt. So I cut out an A-line skirt, and this is the back piece. This is the back piece. You can see my zipper allowance of 1 inch for the back. So I'm just going to set. So for the front piece, my nipple to nipple is 4 inches. So I have already marked out my 4 inches here. You can see. So I've already marked out my 4 inches from the top all the way down to the hem of my skirt. You can see 4 inches here. So I have this 3 inches fabric that I cut out. So what I'm going to do now is to iron 1/2 inch on both sides. Okay, iron it down and place it on this mark, on this line here. I'll merge it like this, and then I will sew it down on both sides. Then I will sew 1 inch down on the middle part. Okay, so I'm going to do that very quickly, and then I will show you what we have. So for this other rope, this will serve as my rope. I cut this very long. This is 2 inches for the rope, while the one we are sewing down to the skirt is 3 inches. So I'm just going to keep this 3 inches aside so I don't mix it up with the 2 inches. So for the 2 inches rope, all I have to do is to close here, do the same thing on this other side, and merge them together like this, and then I will sew it down neatly. So this is the rope that we are going to pass inside the skirt. I'll just do all this very quickly and then come back and show you what I have. I've gone ahead to sew down my 3 inches fabric. You can see what I have. This looks clean. And before I sewed this down, I made sure that I joined the sides together. I joined the back piece and the front piece together, and then I hem the down part of the dress, as you can see. Okay, you have to do this before attaching this your fabric here. Okay, and you can see I made sure that I fold like half an inch inside here, so that I will have a clean finish on this side. Okay, so I sewed from the hem to the waist. So this is what I have. This is my excess. You can see the excess fabric that I have here. So I will just cut this out because I don't need this. You can just see, just cut it out. So this is the 2 inches rope that we cut out before. I've gone ahead to sew them together to make sure I have a clean finish. So I'm just going to pass this into the skirt now. So what I will do is to start passing it from the bottom. If you pass from the waist side, remember I have like half an inch inside this place, so it might be a little bit challenging to bring out your rope. So it's best to pass from the hem all the way to the skirt. So I'll do that now. Passing the rope. So I used needle to hold this down here. So I'm just going to sew this down by 1/4 inch. Just sew down by 1/4 inch before attaching the upper bodice to the down part, to this one. So I have to sew this down with 1/4 inch and then trim out this excess that we'll have here, and then I'll join the upper bodice and show you what I have. So guys, I'm done joining my upper bodice and the skirt part together. So I have the back open. The back is open. So what I'm going to do now is to sew my zipper, and then close the down part, and then I'll show you what our finished piece looks like. So guys, this is what our finished piece looks like. Go ahead and tie the rope. If you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed filming, please go ahead, like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you.